Here we go, we've got our top or our front view all cut. So if I go to ortho printing, this is how I know I'm done with that. So it no longer looks like the original block on the outside. But if I notice, my top view is a complete rectangle yet. Yeah, there's some lines across, but there's no actual cut in the top view yet. So a top view cut would be an angle in or an angle down on the front or cutting out a split out of the center. So those are the three things I'm going to show you now is how to cut the top view, which is step 4. First thing we have to do is anytime, like on the bottom of my car here, I have this arc cut out. I need the bottom surface to be flat because we're actually going to do our top view cut from the bottom of the car. The bottom and the top are the same, it's going to be easier for me because this is the bottom surface is flatter to push this up through. So I'm going to click on a rectangle and just fill that circle back in. We'll delete it back out coming up here, but for now we're going to fill that in. Then on the bottom of my car, I'm going to draw what I want my top view cut to look like. I want to keep it on face the whole time. And we're going to cut that out like that. Alright, now I'm ready for the push-pull. And when I push-pull this, I can only go down, I can't go up. What's happening here is it's seeing this arc and it doesn't know what to do. So if I look right here, it says option. So on the keyboard, it's 2 keys over from the space bar. I'm going to hit the option key and you'll see my cursor turns into a plus. And now I can go up and through. What it's doing is creating a whole nother surface, so we have a little bit more work. And notice there's this little tag here that we got to bring up and through and bring it all the way to the top. Now this doesn't look like my car yet. So what I have to do is be able to erase out what I don't want. And to do that, right along here, I need to get it to draw a line. So it has to do what's called an intersection of 2 surfaces to form those lines in there. So I'm going to use the select tool, triple click on my car so everything's highlighted blue. Then I'm going to right click and hit Intersect Faces with Model. I'm going to have you watch right here and you'll see the line show up. See how that line showed up? Now we have to do our erasing. So I'm going to go to Camera, Standard Views, Front. And I'm going to erase everything above here I don't want anymore and everything below here. So I'm just going to use the eraser tool and keep erasing until everything above my car is gone and everything below my car is gone. So I'm getting my arc back gone here. Then I go Camera, Standard View, Top. And I know on the outside here I don't want, so I'm going to erase until everything out there is gone. Some lines you got to erase over a few times because there's actually 3 or 4 lines stacked up there. Then I go ISO wheels or ISO without wheels. Touch up anything else. Lines on curves like this I can't erase. If I erase that, it erases that whole surface. So I'd go Edit, Undo, Erase. And I can see now, there's one more line right there I got to erase. I can see it on this half, but I have to erase it on that half. Now if I go to ortho printing, I can see my car is no longer a complete rectangle. Next one that I'm going to show is how to angle this front down. Now the key with angling that front down is be careful so you're not cutting that axle hole there. So I'm going to rotate this up, go back to step 4, and again I'm going to draw on the bottom, and And I have two kind of choices here. I can do a straight line, this is going to make a point, or I can do an arc here. So let's do the arc part. So again, I make sure I didn't cut through the axle hole. Do the push-pull. Again, I look down here. Oop, I gotta hit Option. Push-pull it up above the surface. Click the Select tool. Triple click. Right click. Intersect Faces with Model. Now I can erase out what I don't need. So I know none of these surfaces I need up here. And then this side down here. ISO with wheels. I can see it's rounding off the front. And it's coming together pretty nice actually. So now the last thing I want to do is I'm going to show you how to make a forked car, which basically it cuts a notch out of the inside here. So I'm going to go back to step 4. Again, rotate to the bottom of the car. Again, go camera standard views bottom. And then when I'm cutting a forked car, I want to make sure I'm cutting out of the same edge that the CO2 cartridge is. I can see here's the CO2 cartridge. Here's the half circle part of it. So I want to be on that edge. And I'm going to use a quick tool here called offset because I want to make this line just offset in a little bit. Then I'm going to continue this one straight out. Erase again what I don't need. Doesn't want to erase decent, so I'm just going to cut this line off right here. Then I'll look at this and make sure I'm all the way out to the edge. And that should have separated these two surfaces now. Orbit this around. Push pull. Again, I'm going to have to hit Option. I can't go. Hit Option. Go all the way up. And same deal. Select tool. Triple click. Right click. Intersect Faces with Model. Camera standard view top. I'm going to use a little different method here. I'm going to drag a window. Then everything that was touching will get deleted. Hitting the delete key on the keyboard. And then camera standard views front. And then everything above my car can delete. And let's go ISO, no wheels. And that's how I create that fork. So I showed you creating the side, angling the front down, and creating the fork. Again, our steps are to fill the bottom in so it's completely flat, draw our profile on the bottom that we want to cut, push pull with the Option key, select, triple click, right click, intersect faces with model, and then erase out what we don't need. We should have a pretty good idea of how to make our car look decent in both the front view and the top view.